Hello, welcome to Womblin. As you can see, I'm out in the woodland. It's quite foggy, but we've had a few really nice days. It's the last day of February 2021, and we've had a couple of really nice sunny days, and it will get sunny later on. This will soon burn off. And the reason we're out in this beautiful woodland, and you can hear how peaceful it is we're foraging. And one of the biggest crops for a wild food eater, one of the most important ones when you look on any of the wild food forums online and that kind of thing, is this stuff, wild garlic. And as its name suggests, it's a kind of garlic. It's one of the onion family. Its name is Allium ursinum or ursinum. My pronunciations might not be the best, but it's an allium. And what I want to do is show you what you're looking for. If you're coming out looking for wild garlic or any of these kind of things, I want to do some videos like this. I don't know that much, but the bit that I do know might be of some use to you. So we're going to start off by looking at what wild garlic actually looks like, but then we're also going to have a look around, because at this time of the year there are a few plants that it can be mistaken for, and also some other nasties, if you like, that hide right here. You can see one. I don't know if you can quite see it here, but you can see this plant here, and this is really not a nice thing to eat. That is Arum maculatum, but I'll go into that a little bit more as we go around. So yeah, there's a massive swathe of this wild garlic across here. I'm not going to tell you where it is, because foragers tend to keep their spots quite private. Not because we're selfish, but because if too many people know about these things, this will just get completely picked dry, if you like. And the plant itself obviously needs to thrive and survive, so that each year people can come back. So that's what I'm going to do. We're going to have a look at what wild garlic is and look at some of the potential plants that could cause confusion at this time of the year that you could mix it up with. So this is it. This is wild garlic, and I'm going to pick a leaf there. This is this one's doing quite well. You can see these smaller ones just in the front here, just beginning to shoot through, and even smaller right down here. But these ones, these leaves are perfectly ready for picking now. So all it is just pull one out like that, and there you go. That is a wild garlic leaf. Now, one of the surefire ways to tell it is that when you rub it like this, rub it between your hands like that, and smell it, it smells just like onion or garlic, that kind of thing. And it tastes, you can't see me, but tastes fantastic. Now, the problem is with trying to find out if each leaf is wild garlic, is that by the time you've rubbed them all, one, you've ruined them, look, and two, everything will smell of garlic. You know what kind of smell it is. It's a strong smell. So we need to work out how to recognise them. Right next to it here is this thing. Now, it doesn't look very similar. This is Arum maculatum. Lords and ladies, I've heard some people call it cock and balls, various different names for various different reasons. And if you know what this plant does, it will come up. You'll have seen these, I'm sure, while you've been out walking, because they are everywhere. And they come up with a beautiful white shroud flower. And then later on, that flower, once it's been pollinated, turns into a big red pile of little balls. So you can understand the sort of folk names for it. But so we've got to be really careful when we're picking the wild garlic that we don't pick some of this, because this has got something called oxalates in it. Let me pull one of the leaves off. This one probably not the best one. So there you go. That is your Arum maculatum, or lords and ladies. Lots of different names. Try to use the Latin names or the binomial names, because then when you're speaking to people from a different part of the country, they may call it something completely different, and you might get a mix-up there. So, like I say, this is Arum maculatum. It contains something called oxalates, which are essentially little crystals. So if you were to eat this, those crystals get stuck in your throat and cause a lot of discomfort. So make sure you don't pick this stuff. Another sort of identifier is, if you can see, I don't know if you can see too well, but round the edge here, you've got what people call the ring of death. That's not absolutely 100%, but that is one way of telling this apart from other plants. So back to the wild garlic. And you can see here, it's just like garlic or onions at home. Now, I'm just going to clear up a bit of space, and you can see here, it comes from a single point in the ground there. Don't know if you, let me pull these ones out of the way, because we're going to harvest them. and just move these so you can see what we're doing. Pop those in a bag in a minute. And you can see it's coming out of a single point there. And the stem, there we go, is lovely and white at the base. Lovely and white at the base, up to a nice big long green leaf like that. I'm sorry about the focus on my fingernails, which I bite, so you'll have to get over that. And that's that really. At this time of the year, it's just a green leaf, and this is where a lot of the confusion can come in with some of the other plants. So I'm going to move the camera around and show you some of the other things. Most of these things you'll know anyway, but literally right behind here, which I'm going to turn the camera around and show you, is another plant that it could potentially be confused with. And then behind me, you can probably see, no, you can't see at the moment, but you probably saw earlier the little snowdrops. So let me turn the camera around and we'll have a look. So there we go. This is wild garlic. Lovely and fresh. You can see the way it comes out of the ground there. And you can see it grows in big patches like this. If you look over there in the distance, I've got my bag down there, but you can see it spreads very, very evenly across the ground like this. But what you can probably also see is some of the other plants. So I'm just going to wander over here to this one. Now, you probably all recognise this one, but it's just coming to the end of its flowering season now. That's a snowdrop, or Galanthus. Now that's poisonous as well, so you really don't want to be mixing that up. Now, it doesn't really look anything like it, but if you're foraging with children and you tell them to look for these nice green shoots like this, they might well pick those. So you've got to be a little bit careful of what they're doing. There's another few patches over here, and you can see how they happily grow in the same places as the wild garlic. This here is the garlic, and that there is the Galanthus, or as they're more commonly known, the snowdrops. So let's continue wandering around and see what else we can see. There's more of the lords and ladies, completely different to look at, but they do have a tendency to grow as these wild garlic plants get larger and their leaves begin to shroud over. It's quite an easy mistake just to pick, and I go to this patch here. Once these leaves here, these wild garlic leaves here, start coming over the top of this, you could quite easily nip a bit of this, and you really don't want to be eating this. This is, like I said, this is Aramaculatum, lords and ladies, full of oxalates, which are crystals that you really don't want in your food. There's another plant that you could perhaps slightly confuse wild garlic for, and that is a daffodil. I think they're narcissus. I'm not 100% sure, but I think daffodils are narcissus. There's one or two others as well, but I'm not having any luck in the woodland today finding them. Bluebells being one, the hyacinths, and also one that's deadly poisonous, lily of the valley. And you can see just up here now, Mrs. Womble's already started doing a little bit of gathering, but you can see here a lovely great big patch of this wild garlic. And you can see lots and lots of it. Lovely, fresh and green. Extremely healthy as well. I think it's full of, I always think that anything that looks this green must be full of iron. But it tastes gorgeous. And you can do all kinds of things with it. There you go, there's your daffodils in with the wild garlic. Completely different, you can see quite a different colour. But obviously, if you're not careful, you can end up picking the wrong thing, and you really don't want to be eating daffodils. I don't think they're highly, highly poisonous, but actually I think they are highly, highly poisonous. So yeah, we're just going to have a little pick around and probably come back to you in a minute with what we've got. Now, one thing I might have said earlier, I'm not 100% sure, is this isn't my land. This is public land. This is actually a pocket park. But you're not allowed to dig up when you're foraging. You're not allowed to dig up anything without the landowner's permission. And obviously, trying to find a landowner's permission when the council own the land, or whoever owns this piece of land, is going to be extremely difficult. So don't go digging anything up. As much as these garlic bulbs, they're only small, they're not like a normal garlic bulb, but they are delicious. As much as you'd want to pick them up, dig them out, you shouldn't pick them. There's a lot of reasons. One, they don't belong to you. They belong to everybody because it's a public area. Two, the plant's got to thrive. You know, we have to share this world with each other, don't we? And number three, it's illegal. And if you get caught doing it, you're in trouble. And even if you don't know about that, ignorance is no defence. I think that's what they say in the world of law. Mr. Crow wants to get in on the video. So this is it pretty much. We're going to gather a nice big lot of this. You know, there's plenty of it. You can see how much there is, and it goes on for another 200 yards in that direction and 50 yards down there. And we're going to gather a load of this, and we're going to take it home and probably make pesto out of it. Obviously, when you're out and about, we've got dogs running around in here. You can smell it, but probably best not to chew it because you don't know what's been piddling on things, do you? But we'll get this home, we'll get it washed and get it used. So, thank you very much for coming along. Hopefully, you're in a position to be able to get outside and have a look for these things yourself. I'm going to do more videos as the season really begins to settle in, of different foraging foods that are out there, different plants that are dangerous as well, because you know, finding out which ones are dangerous is probably more important than finding out which ones are actually edible. But we are surrounded by food. You know, we started doing this last year during the lockdown, and I couldn't believe how much food there is out and about. And I'd like to encourage people to get out and join in with nature a little bit more, because we've all been given our responsibilities for food production and food delivery away to big faceless corporations that really don't care about your health, do they? So yeah, I'm just going to continue picking for a short while. If you like the video, consider giving it a like. If you like what we're doing and you want to see more like this, press subscribe. And if you really, really like it, press the bell icon. And when I do upload another video, I'm sure you'll get notified by YouTube. Thank you very much for coming along. Keep on wombling. Goodbye, Mrs. Womble. She's very shy. Thank you very much. Hopefully see you again soon. Bye-bye.